Welcome back to Bingers Bricks, everybody. My name is Ben. In today's video, we are going to attempt to efficiently pack up our large Lego city. So let's talk about some of the different materials we're going to use and how we're going to pack everything up. Lastly, let's try to not break any sets in the process. Here we go. Before we get started, I just want to emphasize, no, I am not an expert at packaging, storing, moving Lego, but I've done a little bit of research, and I'm hoping that helps us throughout this process. If you guys have any other advice, please make sure you guys drop the comments in the comment section so that other people, when they're watching these videos, they can see your advice, they can see my advice, kind of utilize that in their personal Lego collections, and just have a better overall experience. Before we start actually taking modular sets down and packing everything up, I want to show you exactly what we're working with here. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you guys like and subscribe, as we have been building this Lego city for about 2 years, and I'll show you a little bit more about what our setup used to look like. I'll put it up here on the screen. But so far in our Lego room and our Lego collection, we have 25 buildings and modulars. We have 17 Lego vehicles. We also have 1 high-speed passenger train. We have about 30 brick heads currently and a bunch of extra pieces here that we need to pack up. So a lot going on in our Lego city, and I'm excited to start utilizing some of the different materials we have to actually packing everything up. So let's get to it. Now that we're done taking a look at the city and what sets we're working with, let's take a look at some of the materials we're going to be using to package everything up. Item number 1 that we will be utilizing as we package up our Lego sets is stretch wrap. So no, we are not going to be breaking down 25 different buildings piece by piece in order to take it to our new place and rebuild everything. So instead, what we're going to do is take down as many loose pieces as we can on the outside of our modulars or our buildings, place them in baggies and inside of the Lego sets themselves so we don't lose them, and then we will take the stretch wrap the outside to try to keep everything in place. Now, these 2 things of stretch wrap I got from Walmart. It was about $8-ish a piece, and they can both stretch up to about 1,000 feet each. So math-wise, I have no idea how that works out. We may have to go get another one, but I'm really trying to utilize as many materials as we can to try to keep everything and preserve everything in place so that we're not losing a bunch of pieces.
The next items that we'll be using throughout this process are these bins, boxes, and totes, right? We got to put all the Lego somewhere. So as I'm holding this bin here like a boom box, I will say that this Sterilite bin that we got from Walmart, we purchased 3 of them. They're right at like 14, 15 bucks a piece. They're great. And I will say the primary reason we went with these totes is the fact that they're wider, right? This box here is 19 1/8 inches wide, which is great because most modules are 10 inches. So it's 10 by 10 inches. So we'll fit most of them. But also when we get into certain buildings such as the Assembly Square or our Sitcom Tower, those are about 15 inches wide or 1.5 base plates. So with that, we needed a little bit of a wider tote, and that is exactly what this is. So super excited for this. Now it says it's 32 inches long, which would be great if it was exact, right? We could fit 3 modulars deep. Unfortunately, it's about 27 inches long, so I kind of figured that was the case, but it'll still give us plenty of room to fit our trains, cars, and other Lego materials that we have.
The last few items that we'll be using throughout the packaging process are scissors, groundbreaking stuff, tape, more groundbreaking stuff, but then also we'll be using sandwich bags, primarily to put extra pieces and minifigures in, and then to stuff back inside the modulars before we stretch wrap everything up. Let's get to it. It's finally time for the fun part. Now that we have our materials prepped and ready, it is time to prep our 1-2-3 Sesame Street MOC here to be wrapped. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our minifigures off, some of our extra pieces, put them in our little baggie here, and then put it inside so that we can start wrapping everything up. Here we go. I keep running. By no means is the wrap job perfect, but overall for the first modular building, I think this looks pretty solid. So now all we have to do next is get this into our bin and start working on the next one. It feels good to have one of our buildings stretch wrapped and ready to go, but I do have to address an issue you guys might run into if you use a similar method as we are for packing up your sets. Now, it's not necessarily going to be with the modular line. The modular line is honestly pretty straightforward in the fact that all you have to do is take the extra pieces off, minifigures, put them on the inside. Where you're going to run into issues is when you get into sets such as the Disney Castle. With a Disney Castle, you have so many gold elements on the new Disney Castle, and on the old one, so many different white elements that kind of protrude from the set itself. Now with that, if you take every single one of those pieces apart, it's going to be a hassle getting them back on. Now for us, luckily we are building a shelving unit, so we are going to be able to just take the second tier off of each of the sets and just transport it as it is. Super careful, I'll have it up in the front seat by me so that it doesn't necessarily take a tumble and break. Now with our history, if you followed us for very long, it's not great with the Disney Castle. But a couple other sets there may be issues with, especially for us, and the fact that the treehouse is going to be a little bit more difficult to stretch wrap. So that is one that we will actually be displaying at our new house as well. And the Daily Bugle. I love the Daily Bugle, but if I had to take every single minifigure off, the window elements and the car on the side and the water tower on top, it would be so difficult to take every single one piece off. So that's one that I may display on my desk even at our new house. So just wanted to let everybody know as they're taking sets down and putting them away that may be one issue you may run into.
Shining in the night, all that's left unspoken. It'll be alright. White walls with the pads on, cause I've been acting very whack. Quite long since I've been home. I don't wanna carry that. At nightfall with the lights on, cause I am just a scaredy cat. I call so we might talk, and maybe you can make me laugh. Struck by love in a lightning storm. Cover me up with a silent force.
It is chaos in the Lego room right now, but overall we are making some progress. Have a few more sets that are stretch wrapped. Want to take a look a little bit more at some of our packing skills over here, or lack of packing skills, whichever way you look at it. But definitely make sure you guys are dropping comments down in the comment section if there's anything you guys would do differently. Again, nobody has a perfect answer, just something that we can all kind of utilize some of the different ideas and tricks that each one is using. Now, as you can see here, we only have 2 modulars in here, along with our Winnie the Pooh set here. We do have Assembly Square and then 1, 2, 3 Sesame Street MOC. But what I did just to obviously close some of the different space in here is just added some of the different bulk brick bags that we have. Again, it's just going to keep things a little bit more sturdy, a little bit more stiff in here so that they're not clanking around too much next to each other. But what we're going to be doing next is actually filling in with some of the different packing paper that we have here, just to fill in some of the gaps just as we're driving down the road, making sure that if we're hitting any potholes, things are kind of staying steady in there and not, again, breaking apart within that stretch wrap. So definitely something I want to keep adding in here. And the next thing I got to do is I want to start stretch wrapping some of the different trains and vehicles that we have here. Again, nothing too crazy. Most of them I'm just going to put in a little baggie and throw in some of these boxes, but let's keep working. Fast forward just a few boxes here. We are actually on our 4th box. Our second one here, we have our Craftsman organizer. This is just to organize some of the different Lego pieces that we have. Again, sorting it by color, by plate, brick, tile, you name it. It's nice to have its own tote over there, but we also have 2 more sets in here. Have the Brick Bank and then the Parisian Restaurant kind of stored in here. This box actually ended up being perfect, as it was like 15 inches wide with like 22 inches on the inside. So I wish I had more of these boxes. Unfortunately, we just kind of have some of the totes that we're working with. Next, I want to start working on one of our other Stairlight bins, which has actually been great because we did package up all of our Speed Champions vehicles, and then we do have Downtown Diner, the police station, and then over here on the side here, what I want to fill it in with is this box right here, and what's going to be in this box is all of our BrickHeads. So BrickHeads, I'm not going to be super picky with. I'm actually just going to use some of our sandwich bags to put those in. Those are pretty easy to fix if we need to, so I'm not too worried about them breaking or just a couple of small pieces chipping off. So let's keep working.
My pride when I finally morph, just to be yours, just to be dancing the rain.
Quick little update here before we skip a few steps and I stop checking in every 30 to 45 seconds. But I will say with the BrickHeads, I think the sandwich bags were perfect, primarily because, you know, when you close a Ziploc bag and it's got all the air in it, well, I thought that was a great idea because a lot of these bags actually have a decent amount of air in it, and it's giving it a decent amount of cushion in between each BrickHead. Now, I will say the sandwich bags were also a great idea because as I put each individual BrickHead in, I felt tiny little pieces coming apart. So I'm excited to have everything contained and now ready to put into our box and move on to our next tote. This feels so crazy, having this room completely empty again. And I was going to say it would feel like it did when we first started, but we didn't have the nice shelving in. We had a more of like a yellowish tint to the walls. I'll try to see if I can get a video and post it onto this video here, but definitely a crazy feeling, you know, going back to having no tables, no modulars sitting on our tables. We don't have any minifigure displays anymore down here. Definitely something where we have to try to get some of these sets over to the townhome, but I have a small little update on that in just a second. But it is time to start taking what we have packed up already. We have about 14 modulars. We have most of our minifigure displays. We have our brick heads. We have our vehicles, our trains. So we have a solid start going, but we have all these boxes here. You can see all of our different totes and boxes as well, Rivendell. And then we did cut down all of our boxes. Thank you to you guys for giving me that idea. I will say I was looking in the comment section of my last video. Somebody had a great idea of using packing peanuts, you know, putting packing peanuts around your saran wrap or stretch wrapped modulars was definitely a great idea and something that I would highly suggest. I know it's a little expensive, but as he mentioned, it's already an expensive hobby, and it's nice to kind of keep your modulars or your sets looking nice. So let's get all this loaded up and start heading over. The first trip is down and all the well-packaged totes went over perfectly. I will say this second trip is a little bit more risky. We do have Sitcom Tower just loose in a box, as well as the fire brigade. I think you see all the boxes that we broke down, a couple more totes, but then as we come around to the backside here, you can see two of our large sets, the Daily Bugle and Avengers Tower over here, just sitting loose in boxes. And if it doesn't get any riskier, we just threw in our mock of the courthouse loose in the trunk. So what are the odds we make it to our townhouse without anything breaking? I give it about a 25% chance. I think the speed limit is probably like 35 or 45. We're going to be going about 15 on some of these back roads here. So sorry, everybody. Well, everyone, we have made it. We have everything in the townhouse. And I mentioned this in a previous video, but we condensed everything down from our previous house, about 3,000 square feet, to our townhouse here where we'll live for the next year and a half while we build a house across town. And I believe we're at like 1,200-ish square feet. So everything is a little tight in here, but we're going to make it work. And as you can see with my little workstation here, we have the Avengers Tower and Daily Bugle. And then the rest of it is over here in our master closet. Now this is actually smaller than what we had for our guest closet upstairs where the Lego room was, but we're gonna make it work. We do have some extra Lego stuff up here, and then again, Haunted Mansion. We've also got our courthouse, Sitcom Tower, and then going up top here, we do have some of our other sets were in the Lego City. We have Bowling Alley, Home Alone House, Rivendell, which we still haven't built, Sanctum Sanctorum, couple more up there, and then down here we just have some odds and ends pieces, more base plates and everything down there. And then here you can kind of see it, but we have all of our Iron Man minifigures in there in our shadow box, but then just a bunch of random stuff over here as well, just loose road plates. And then down here our floating shelves, more shadow boxes, pieces. We have a brand new set in there that I'll let everybody know about in our next video, and then otherwise just some random pieces and other modulars and stuff in here. So everything is here, just organized but not organized. So yes, technically we are all moved into our new townhouse here, but I am already missing our old Lego City, our old Lego room, and honestly just in general the old house. But that being said, we're looking towards the future here, and I'm excited to share some more details with you guys as we continue to move on to building our new house just across town here. So very excited. I'm also excited to talk to you guys more about some of the new purchases we make, as well as some of the new Lego release day shopping videos. So keep an eye out for some of those different videos. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Last thing I want to say is just thank you guys so much for dropping by, watching our video, and dropping comments down in the comment section. Really appreciate the cool community that we've built here, and I'm excited to continue putting out some new material for all of you guys. So thank you again. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.